As far as science fiction is concerned, one cannot overlook the importance of the uniforms and clothes of the characters. I mean, they have to exude a futuristic and formidable aura. That's precisely what the uniforms and battle gears of the Colonial Marines do. I think I would give special credit to Mr. Cameron for being imaginative enough to incorporate the various uniforms of multiple real-life defense forces and turning them into something extraordinarily unique. So in this video, we'll dive deep into what makes the Colonial Marines costume a piece of art, but before that, we will explore who exactly the Colonial Marines are and what are their various divisions and units. I mean, it's just necessary for the sake of being comprehensive. Let's begin, shall we? Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
Jesus! No! Christ, kid, look out!
Who are Colonial Marines? The United America's Colonial Marine Corps, or the UACM, are popularly known as the Colonial Marines, a defense force that takes on the most notorious creatures that nature has ever created. So of course, these badass space warriors are not your average run-of-the-mill military force. Founded back in 2101, they've got a futuristic edge that makes them the go-to force in readiness for the United Americas. Now, what exactly is the United Americas? Well, as the name suggests, both American continents join hands to become a single political unit for the future. The world was progressing in every sense of the word, and technological innovation was at its peak. This paved the way for humans to explore other planets and celestial bodies in the faraway sectors of space. But scientists and miners could not be left unguarded in an alien and possibly hostile territory. This brought about the birth of the Colonial Marines, the spacefaring Marines. Essentially, they are a high-tech elite squad that specializes in force projection. They fearlessly venture into the farthest corners of the cosmos, way beyond the confines of home, ready to kick some real alien butt. Of course, sometimes they get their own arses whooped. However, thanks to their top-notch tech and impressive space fleet, they could survive and thrive out there for extended periods. In fact, they're not the first Marines of their kind. Before them, the United Americas had the United States Marine Corps and UAORD, or the United Americas Outer Rim Defense. With the Colonial Protection Act of 2187, the Colonial Marines became the United Americas Colonial Marines. So, the UACMs are basically the successors of these previous organizations, and as such, these guys are always at the ready, ever prepared for immediate deployment across human-controlled space. So, these tough cookies, alongside the United States Army, form the epic United Americas Allied Command. Their day job is keeping the peace in order for all United Americas colonies, no matter how far out in the galaxy they may be. From Tietzin to Helene 215, Lena 349, BG 386, LV 1201, LV 742, and the infamous Acheron, yep, that's LV 426. These Marines have seen it all. You name it, and they've been there, done that, and probably got the t-shirt as a souvenir. But then again, it's not just all fun and games out there. The Colonial Marines have faced some serious troubles in their interstellar adventures, be it in comics, movies, or the games. And these foes don't just include humans, and they also include rebellious humans and wild and deadly local creatures on far-off planets. So that was more or less the history of the Colonial Marines. But how are they organized? It is important to understand this in order to understand the different uniforms and equipment that each of the wings of the Colonial Marines possess. Different units of Colonial Marines. The Colonial Marines are a well-oiled machine with several major squads, so let's break them down one by one. A. Marine Space Force. The supporting establishment of the UACM takes care of all the behind-the-scenes magic, from recruitment to research and development, logistics to administrative duties. But a part of them also do the dirty job for the company. So yeah, 58% of the Marine Space Force guys make up the operating forces. They're the ones out there in the thick of it, getting down and dirty in combat. The operating forces are like the Avengers of space, divided into 4 kick-ass combat divisions and 4 aerospace wings, each with its own backup teams. And wait, there's more. There's even a 5th division, an aerospace wing standing by as reserves, ready to jump into action when needed. The Marine Space Forces are basically 3 elite teams that answer directly to the US Space Command. Then there are the VBSS teams. They are the go-to squad for hazardous boarding missions on suspicious ships and whatnot. Think armored hard suits and a whole arsenal of top-notch weapons, from the Mark 7 mod Mod 2 CQB pistol to the EM41 pulse rifle. These guys mean business, and you do not want to end up on the wrong side of the barrel. B. Aerospace Wing. As the name suggests, these guys provide the much needed aerospace support and mobility for their Marine Space Force buddies. The Aerospace Wing is a well-organized team with 3 groups stealing the show. First up is the Drop Group, which is about 200 dropships strong. Next on the roster is the Tactical Group, ready to take on any mission that comes their way. From reconnaissance to ground attacks and air superiority, these pilots can be called the Cosmic Aces. They fly the beasts like the Bearcat and Cougar strike ships, along with some heavy hitters like the UD-4 Cheyenne dropships and UD-22 Navajo gunships. Lastly, we've got the Support Group. They handle CAS Evac, which is short for Casualty Evacuation, search and rescue missions, and even some sneaky psyops. C. Marine Assault Unit. These bad boys are the backbone of Colonial Marine combat forces and are basically the Lone Rangers of the Colonial Marines. HQ Platoon leads the charge, calling the shots and making sure everyone stays on the same beat. Then we have the Support Crew, which is made up of the Logistics Platoon, Maintenance Company, and Medical Unit are the unsung heroes keeping the MAU ticking. The units further have specialized members like a reconnaissance platoon to scope out the battlefield, a scout sniper squad to hit their targets from great distances, and a combat engineer platoon to handle any obstacle in their path. And when heavy fire support is needed, the Heavy Ordnance Company comes to the rescue as they are armed with everything from self-propelled artillery to anti-ballistic and anti-space systems. Having said that, the infantry companies are the heart and soul of the MAU, each one packed with firepower. Mortars, anti-tanks, and SAM missiles help them stay ahead of their enemies most of the time. Apart from these, there's the Rifle Platoon and the Combat Synthetic Platoon. Colonial Marines combat gear. Lieutenant Gorman. But before anything else, let's talk about the 2 iconic uniforms seen in the film Aliens. First up, we've got Lieutenant Gorman, sporting a slick formal service uniform. The production team took inspiration from the US service uniforms, but that's pretty much the end of the similarities between the 2 uniforms. They took it to a whole new level. Think dark green peaked cap with a subdued US Marine Corps EGA pin, a basic white t-shirt underneath, and a khaki short sleeve dress shirt. But every uniform needs some patches, so this one has the American flag with a silver border, an eagle with the USCM acronym, and a rounded USS Sulaco patch for that authentic space flair. But about the lower half, dark green pleated dress pants do the trick, and they're paired with a black basket weave belt boasting a gold buckle. Lastly, they wore these black shoes. But what about the field uniforms? Lieutenant Gorman in his US military OG 106 or 507 hat would look ready to kick some serious alien butt. Okay, I may have exaggerated a bit. The combat uniform consists of long sleeve button-up shirts with some custom touches like a Mandarin style collar and chest pocket flaps. And of course, the right patches, including name tapes, the US flag, and that oh so important USS Sulaco patch. But the real cosmic touch is the M65 field jacket, customized especially with some extra rows and the necessary patches to complete the look. Lastly, these guys strap on that pistol belt and the VP-70 holster and top it all off with German paratrooper boots to become one mean intergalactic soldier.
Down!
2, 1, mark.
Dropship pilots. And now we get into the uniform of the dropship pilots. I mean, not literally into their pants. Dressed in basic green flight suits, these aviators sport RAF Mark 11 flight coveralls, a rare find due to their historical significance. A bunch of patches are stitched into their attire, decorating the left shoulder with the American flag and rank chevrons, which are the V-shaped lines or stripes on the sleeve of a uniform, indicating rank or length of service. Furthermore, the right shoulder displays a rounded patch featuring the USS Sulaco insignia, accompanied by a lower US Colonial Marines tab. Additionally, the left chest pocket has a name tape and the words "Victory by Wings." Then there are the helmets. 2 distinct versions were used for Corporal Farrow and Private First Class Spunkmeyer. They were customized for the Gentex SPH-4 helmets, which were originally designed for helicopter pilots during the Vietnam War. The customization process involved an intricate arrangement of parts, with Spunkmeyer's version incorporating elements from a British 4 anti-helmet mounted sight, specifically used in conjunction with the Rapier AA missile system. During their flight operations, the pilots don a rather practical addition, a vest placed over their overalls. These vests, the US Army body fragments with 3/4 collar, commonly known as the M609 flak vest, offer enhanced protection during missions. Notably, these vests also serve a dual purpose as they are worn beneath the smart gun harnesses by the operators. Distinguishing variations were seen in the vest patches, where the Victory by Wings emblem is placed with the Colonial Marines emblem referred to as the Delta patch. Additionally, the USCM patch is often positioned above the right chest pocket, while the US flag patch is adroitly added to the left. Colonial Marines. The combat uniforms worn by the Colonial Marines in the sci-fi classic give out very futuristic vibes. Each Marine dons a comprehensive uniform designed to withstand the rigors of space battles, but they are also high in functionality and style. The most basic part of their attire is a simple white t-shirt, probably made of cotton. Every Marine also wears a dark green or brown toned shirt that helps in camouflage. Then there are the pants, a jacket, and a helmet cover, all crafted by C&J Costumes of London. Speculated to be inspired by the US Marine Corps frog skin pattern and ERDL, the uniform seems somewhat perfect for tactical operations. And of course, there are the American flag and the USCM patches and rank chevrons, embroidered in black and gold. As far as the heading gear is concerned, the Majestic Marines use the M10 pattern ballistic helmet, which is pretty detailed, complex, and comes in with various cool features and gadgets. Originally a Vietnam-era M1 helmet and liner, the M10 is enhanced with technology including a microphone, infrared sight, camera, and IFF transmitter. The Marines are also equipped with a HM560 headset Pentax Auto 110 18mm lens and iTech Safety ear defender for enhanced hearing. As a mark of individual identity, each Marine possesses a set of dog tags uniquely inscribed with their rank, initials, last name, and serial number. Lastly, for protection, the Marines have the M3 pattern personal armor, comprising torso armor, abdominal plating, and leg armor. The torso section accommodates mounting brackets for attaching additional equipment, while the abdominal plating provides protection to the Marines' core. The leg armor, composed of 4 pieces, ensures flexibility and mobility during combat. Weapons. I know weapons are technically not really a part of a Marine's uniform, but what good is a uniform without weapons, right? So let's briefly discuss a few of them. Number 1. M41A Pulse Rifle. The M41A Pulse Rifle is the preferred firearm of the Colonial Marines. This powerful weapon combines a standard issue M1A1 Thompson submachine gun with a Heckler & Koch MP5 foregrip and a fictional pump-action 30mm grenade launcher. The Pulse Rifle has a 99-round magazine capable of firing both 10mm caseless rounds and underslung 30mm grenades, providing Marines with versatility and immense firepower against hordes of hostile enemies. In fact, we have made an entire video on the M41A Pulse Rifles. You should check it out. Number 2. M240 Incinerator Unit. For dealing with Xenomorph threats, the M240 Incinerator Unit is the go-to flamethrower. This weapon emits a roaring stream of intense flames, ideal for clearing tight spaces and eliminating alien infestations with cleansing fire. Its impressive range and devastating effects on xenomorphs make it an indispensable tool for the Marines. Number 3. M56 Smart Gun. When sheer firepower is required, the M56 Smart Gun is what the Marine turns to. Mounted on a shoulder harness and stabilized with a motorized gyroscope assembly, this automated heavy machine gun allows Marines to effortlessly engage targets while maintaining mobility. Equipped with a tracking system, the Smart Gun locks onto hostiles, providing an effective solution against the swifter enemies. Number 4. M83 SATAR. When the situation calls for anti-armor capabilities, the M83 SATAR, or the Shoulder-Launched Attack Munition Rocket Launcher, comes in quite handy. Marines can shoulder fire this weapon, launching powerful armor-piercing rockets towards enemy vehicles and heavy targets with precision and devastating impact. Number 5. UA571C Automated Sentry Gun. But what do you do when you cannot face the enemy yourself? Well, the Marines use the UA571C Automated Sentry Gun that has the capacity to punch through the tough hides of xenomorphs. Deployed to secure perimeters and fend off ambushes, this remote-operated sentry gun automatically and autonomously targets and neutralizes threats with a relentless hail of firepower. It's oddly satisfying to watch it annihilate xenomorphs. Number 6. M314 Motion Tracker. As vital as any weapon, the M314 Motion Tracker offers Marines a crucial advantage in detecting hidden threats. This portable tracking device emits radar signals, detecting movement and alerting the squad about the proximity of approaching enemies. It is an indispensable tool for survival in unknown and hostile environments that the Marines usually find themselves in. Marvelous verdict. Crafted for space battles and tactical operations, these uniforms combine functionality with style, making the Marines a force to be reckoned with. Starting with the basics, the Marines don a simple white cotton t-shirt layered with a dark green or brown toned camouflage shirt for concealment. The attention to detail is evident in the headgear, featuring the advanced M10 pattern ballistic helmet with integrated technology for communication, sight, and identification. Equipped with the HM560 headset and Pentax Auto 110 18mm lens, their situational awareness is heightened because of the various pieces of tech incorporated into the helmet. For optimal protection, the Marines don the M3 pattern personal armor, comprising torso armor with mounting brackets, abdominal plating for core protection, and flexible leg armor. To conclude, the Colonial Marines combat gear is all that a Colonial Marine would need, and it blends style with practicality. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.